Hello crafty friends, how is everybody doing this evening? I hope you had a blessed and wonderful weekend. It is already Monday again, but you know what Monday means? Monday means a new start. I know Sunday is the start of the week, but Monday is the start of the work week. So we get to experience new things, we get to enjoy new ideas. I love coming on Mondays and chatting with you guys and creating and crafting and see what is going on. All right, what's going on my Facebook? All right, here we are. So I love Mondays. Mondays is a very busy day for me. Normally I have, I can't even think today. I normally have a crafting business meeting with my source sisters at 11. Then I have my art journaling class for caregivers at 1. And then I'll go live at 6:30. So it is very busy on Mondays. But I love it. I love a productive start to the week. It helps me not to be lazy and just, laying around and not doing anything. So today we had to go to dialysis, so I missed my meeting this morning, but I'll watch it on replay. And next week is my last meeting with the Art Journaling for Caregivers, so my schedule will be changing again. But I love, I am not seeing any comments. I'm not seeing no comments whatsoever on here. I don't even see mine. Okay, there it is. Well, hopefully the comments are not going to leave us hanging again. Let's see if I can get you guys situated here. Let me turn you down a little bit. We are going to be working with these 5x5 blocks from Michaels. I've already painted it, and let me show you what I painted these in. I've already painted these in Dixie Belle Magnolia, and that's what I used. I put only one coat around the edges and put 2 coats on the top, but I did not go all the way to the edges with the second coat. So the first coat was everything, and the second coat was just basically to cover the middle again. I done that to all my blocks. I got 3 blocks, and this is what we are going for. Look at all that beautiful vintage, rusty, crusty, porcelain, crackle look. Look how beautiful that flower crackled. I'm trying to hold it to where you could see it without the light reflecting on it too much. There we go. Is that just not gorgeous? I love the fine line crackle. I mean, it is just beautiful. And does that not look like it is hand painted on there? I just love the way that turned out. I'm not sure what we're doing on the other side. And then, of course, I done distressed the edges a little bit too. If you want more of the rusticness around it, you can make it darker. I didn't want to make it too dark. Thanks for the hearts. I am sorry, I don't see any comments. And I got my phone turned around backwards so you can read words. I am so sorry that I cannot read. I think I'm going to start just leaving my phone the other way around, because I would rather interact with you and be able to see comments than not to interact with you guys, because I don't know what you guys are saying, and I just don't like that. So let me show you how I did this. That's why I went ahead and pre-paint it so that we can hit the ground running. This is one of the flowers out of the Red, White, and Bloom. It is out of stock. I am so sorry. Both of the things I'm using tonight are out of stock. But you can always go in and say that you want a restock happen. So, and then maybe they will restock it if they have enough interest. This one is also out of the Red, White, and Bloom. It does not have a leaf or anything. I wanted a leaf on it. So I am going to position it on here, and I cut a little leaf out. Oh, right here. And I want that little leaf to go right here in that little corner right there. So I'm going to stick it under here. I'm going to have to position it my way so that I can see how I want this on here. Let's see if that's the way I want it, because I can see through it a little bit or enough to see. This is the way I want it. So now that I know sort of kind of where my leaf goes, I'll keep my finger there. Peel this back and only touch the non-printed part. And then I can just put it down to where I think it needs to go. If it is not exactly where I want it, then we'll adjust. No comments. It is probably Miss Sherry or Miss Bonnie, and I appreciate you hopping on. Hello, hello. Just wish I could see you. And we'll just burnish this in, and all I did is just painted it with the Dixie Belle paint. That's all I did. Nothing else. Did not coat it. I just didn't want you to sit here having to watch me paint. You know how to add chalk paint, Dixie Belle paint, acrylic paint to a block. And you can use any type of paint that you want. I just like the color of the Dixie Belle paint. And see how quickly and easily we got that on there. Nothing left on our transfer. And now I'm just going to position this to where it will be the best way to match with my little leaf. If I can get it to peel apart. Well, there it goes. For those of you that may be new watching or replay watchers that might not know transfers, there's three parts. There's the backer sheet, the carrier sheet. This is in my right hand. The carrier sheet has the printed design. You peel it off. If you need to put it back on there, put it on that shiny side. Do not put it on the dull side. Then you can reuse it. Do not touch the printed part right here, because that will come off on your finger. Hold it on the clear parts. That's where you can hold it without any problems. Leave yourself enough room to hold on. I normally try to cut mine as close as I can with enough space to hold it. And I hope you can see this good. I am going to position my flower with that little V right here in that spot, to where it is within that little stem. Like it's looking like that little stem is coming out of that flower. Let's see how I want it. I think I might do it like that. Once you've got it positioned, just lay it down. Now, does that not look like that stem is coming out of that flower just right? And I've done the same thing with this one. This had like a little spot down here, like a little V, and I just put the leaf over top. I put the blue flower down first, and then I put the green one over top. So you can do it either way. And these you can use to put paint on. This is a good little paint palette. Rub it in with your hand. The heat from your hand helps. Yeah, no comments. So we are flying blind tonight. It's okay. It is okay. Just please comment. Let me know. Even if I can't see them, I can go back and read all your comments. And it does help your creators when you comment and interact. And I would love to interact with you. I love to see your ideas. What do you like? What do you want to create? What are you creating? What is going on? What have you made? Are you working on porcelainers or rounds or Mother's Day? I know Mother's Day is coming up. Are you working strictly on Patriotic? Have you already switched to some summer? Maybe some bee things. I was thinking about making some bee things, so I think I might do some more Patriotic and do some bee. You know, maybe Monday's Patriotic and Thursday's bee, or vice versa. And for those of you that may not be familiar, you can put transfers over transfers. You can put stencils over transfers. You can put transfers over stencils. The only thing your transfers require is a dry surface that is oil free, you know, no debris on there, no sanding dust, no wax, clean. Like if I'm working on glass or metal, I use rubbing alcohol to clean that, to get any film or gluey substance or anything off of there, so that it will be a clean surface, so that my transfers attach real easily. Having a dry surface, and that's one of the reasons why I pre-paint it as well, is your best bet for transfer. So if you have the time to let it dry naturally. You know, online we have to hurry sometimes to get things done, so we force dry things, and sometimes you don't get the best results. Let's see how pretty that looks. You can also add words to these, and look at the difference. This block started out the same way. Look at the difference between the two blocks. I'm waiting for the camera to catch up. Look at that difference. We're going to go ahead and add the other one, and I have got the red rose on this one, and I'm going to add that little one to it. So let me show you how I'm going to do that. And I did sand this. That's the only other thing I did, is I sanded it. I want my red one kind of like this. Let me see. I want to make that stem disappear behind this. I'm just doing this for the layout to see. Yeah, I think that's how I want to do it, so that I know where I need to position this. Yep, that'll be good. So I kind of know where I need to lay this one. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm holding this down with my finger right here, so that I know where I need to position it. And it was off to the side a little bit. And thank you for the hearts and the thumbs up. You guys are awesome. And let me know if you do receive notifications. If you don't, check your Facebook. Sometimes when they do updates, notifications kind of disappear. So check it and make sure that you're still getting notifications from your favorite creatives. And if you would like notifications, ! notify will get you notifications. Unless Facebook changes something. And one other thing I was going to remind you of. It is the last day of the 30% off sale at Essential Stencil. Everything but the new things that just came out is 30% off. That is including all of the brushes, transfers, stencils, This is an amazing time to stock up on some fall things that you either missed out or that you don't have yet, or if you knew that you're getting into the seasons and maybe you sell. This is a good time to stock up on your fall, on your Halloween, even Christmas at 30% off. I mean, that is amazing. And you can also save another 30% off with my code, 30%, another 10%, not 30, another 10% with my code WK21. So that is absolutely amazing that you can. If you noticed, I put that right over that little stem right there. So you can save another 10%. So you've saved 30 on the sale and then another at checkout if you use my code. My code is WK21. And I put the links to the Red, White, and Bloom transfer set and to the stencil we're going to using. I'm going to use the Sentimental stencil. Both of these at the moment sold out. I do apologize. But some of you might have them already and haven't used them, or some of you might want them and put themselves on the wait list so that they'll be restocked. I can't promise that they will be restocked, but if there's enough interest, they might be able to. Let's see. Uh-oh. I don't think I got anybody on right now. I think I've lost you guys. I hope the connection was not bad because my internet is good and I can see myself, so I am not sure what happened. I can't see anything. So next time I will have my camera around the other way because I don't like not being able to see what's going on. So I do apologize if it is backwards, but I'd rather be able to see you and talk to you than not being able to. Look how pretty that is. Alright, that looks good. It is all varnished in. I normally go over it with my hand just to make sure it is all in. Now we're going to take the two-step. This is step 1 of the Fine Line Crackle from Pen Art. And this is step 2. And I'm not going to use a little brush. I haven't washed my brushes, so I'm just using a little brush. And you guys see good? And I am just going on here, just real careful. Just putting it in, not concerned about full coverage. I'm just putting it on the best I can. I hold it at an angle because with my light, it is hard to see. And I go straight over my transfer. And I am not putting much on at all. Going all the way to the end. And then back and forth. If you have a big blob, try to get it right away, because if you wait too long, it will mess your step up. There's a section right here that I didn't get, so I'm going to go right over it real quick. You got to do it quickly, because otherwise you're going to way too long and it's already doing its little thing. And you can tell it is shiny. So we'll wait on that to dry. While we're waiting on that one, we can do this one. And I just love the way these turn out. And like I said, you can do them darker if you like that look. If you don't like that look, you can just leave them regular. You can use eyeshadow to fill in the cracks after step 2. That is a possibility. So you can use different colors. I am going to use brown dark Kills wax. Just regular Kills wax. That's all I'm going to use. Put a little bit extra on the sides here because I kind of missed those. Now we don't need it again, so I'll put that in water. Now we got to dry this, and then we're going to put step 2 on. If you have any questions, please let me know. If there's anything that you would like to know or have a question about, if you missed a step, just let me know. And we want to make sure that this is good and dry before we put the other part on. And I think we're going to go ahead and jump to our other craft so that this can dry naturally on its own for a little bit. Why don't we do that? That way you don't need to be seeing me dry this for 10 minutes. It don't take that long. This is one of the banners. I call it a banner. I don't know what the right terminology is, from Hobby Lobby. Comes with a nice cute little hanger. If you want it to be completely flat, you can take, well, you used to be able to take that out. I think it's just glued in on one side. You used to be able to take this out real easy. And as always, I wrote things down. I copied it to see how I wanted this to be laid out. So that it would fit with what I wanted to do. I'm putting this beautiful piece on the bottom. This one is going on the side right here. And then these will go up top. All right, so let's put this one in first. And yes, you can put these on. Still can't see comments. I thought maybe they had come up. You can put these on canvas. Rub it in. And to seal these, I would spray it with just a spray sealer, or even like I do the flags with maybe Scotch Guard, spray them with Scotch Guard. If you keep them in the house, I wouldn't even worry about spraying it. Because the words, the stenciling, you can heat set and you'll be fine. But if you're worried about the transfers, you can just do a spray sealer. Such a bummer, I can't interact. But you guys keep on talking. Talk amongst yourselves. Let me know what your weather is like. It is warm today. It was, I don't know if we reached 80, but it was supposed to be 80. It was cool over the last few days. And see, I went to the bottom and I'm holding this down right here so it will not slip. And I might miss a leaf or part of the stem. Because there's some little small intricate leaves or stems of the leaves, and I don't want to miss nothing. So it was strange weather here. Got a little bit of rain over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. A little bit of a thunderstorm. And see, this is what I like. You can incorporate different transfers and create a bigger one. So we're going to add this one on the top. And I purposefully chose this one with that little leaf coming down to go down here into the point. That was my desire to get that in right here in the point. And I normally go from the middle out to the ends. Push it all the way from the middle out. And I'll show you in a moment how I covered up that little stem from that rose that's on the right, yep, on the left side. If we have enough time, I can even do a little bonus project. Or I can let you go early. But we still got the crackle part to do, so well, you might not have time for the bonus project. We can do that on Thursday. Is there a stencil or a project or technique or something you like to see that you would like for me to do? Let me know in the comments what's something that you have not seen or that you would like to see used. Just let me know. I want to be able to inspire you and lift you up and help you to not be afraid to try something. If it does not work out correctly, you can always add another stencil over top. On your painted projects, you can always paint over it. And if that doesn't work, you can always print a printable or something on a piece of fabric and cover it up. Add that to it and create a whole new project. There is not a crafting police that would tell you you cannot do this. So if it is something that is not fixable or that didn't turn out to your liking, just go over it with something else. Just do something different. Do not stress. Enjoy the creative process. It is therapy. It is therapeutic. It is there to help you relax and not stress. It is not here to frustrate you. Go with the flow. Enjoy it. And this little flag has like a plastic backing, so you don't have to worry about paint going through if you're painting on this. It has a backer already on there. And I'm working myself all the way around. I like to come in from all the different sides and then work on the middle. And we will add the stencil where flowers bloom, hope grows. Oh, so does hope, sorry. Where flowers bloom, so does hope. I'm just being extra careful with this because it's got a lot of little parts to it. The little leaves and end of the rose blooms and the greenery, the stems. So I'm just being extra careful, making sure that everything adheres well. Slow and steady wins the race, right? I always say we don't want to amputate anything. Almost there. And when you place your order for your 30% off, don't forget to get your little tools for your transfers. They always come in handy. I would say you cannot have enough tools because sometimes you misplace them and then you can't find them. It's like I've had several and I put them up somewhere so I could find them, but I couldn't remember where I put them. And then when I clean my room up or reorganize my room, I'll find them. And then I'm like, oh, that's where you put them. Same with brushes. I have found brushes that I had put up to use for either classes or just to stash them, and I forgot that I had them. You guys don't do stuff like that, do you? You always know where all your stuff is, right? Alright, everything released really good. And I will show you how this looks like it is in the canvas. Look at that. Does that not look like it is inside that canvas? so pretty. All right, we are going to break this up and add where flowers bloom, so does hope. So does hope is going to go on the bottom right here. And where flowers is going on the top. And bloom is going to go in between the words. So I've got to kind of position this to where it is fairly good. And this is what I do. I lay this paper down, and then I lay my stencil over top to where it is fairly straight, and then I can just move that out. And in this case, it lines up even with my edge, and it lines up right here. I am still going to add tape to tape it down so it will not move on me. I am not going to do the roses on here. I am just doing the words. Since I am not doing the roses, I am going to tape that off. Because I am using the flowers out of the transfers, from the transfers. And a little bit of taping. I'm going to tape that later because I don't want to tape over top of my transfer. I am going to hold this down because this is lifting a little bit. And I am just going to use a dome brush. And let me get a coffee filter out. I am going to use avocado for the paint. Load your brush just like you would any brush. Push it into your bristles, but don't forget to offload. And I might have, nope, I didn't. I was gonna say I might have offloaded too much, but I don't think I did. You want a dry brush. Anytime you stencil, whether it is on fabric or on wood, metal, glass, plastic, you don't want bleed, so you want a dry brush. It is easier to go over it a couple of times than it is to try to figure out how to fix bleed, especially on fabric. And I swirl to the right and to the left. And the reason why I am reloading numerous times is because I am picking up very little paint. And these canvas flags make really good banners where you can just hang it as is, or you can put them as a focal point in your wreath. If you have a evergreen wreath, I don't mean an evergreen like a Christmas wreath, a wreath that is neutral, that carries you through all the seasons, you can add different banners in there, and that will carry you through all the seasons. You only need one wreath, and you can just add different flags. Oh, that green will be pretty. All right, wear flowers, and always make sure, especially on fabric, that you don't have anything back here, because if you do, that's not going to be good. So now I am going to look to see where my seam is over here so that I'm semi-straight. Looks good to me. Now I can take this other part off. And I am just doing the word flowers because bloom is going to be on the bottom. On this one, you can even, I'm just going to put my finger right here so it will not go into the M of bloom. You can also add butterflies on here. You can get like little like clips. I was trying to figure out how to say it, to put on here, like that will stand like be a 3D or like a pin that'll look like 3D. That would be cool. And I'm holding this and pushing this down so that it will stay. If you need to move your hand, make sure you put your other hand down so that you will not lift your stencil up by accident. These dome brushes are great for small spaces like this. And I don't sweat the small stuff if they don't look exactly identical. If one of them is a little darker than the other, I'm okay with that because I don't mind that little worn look. Okay, no bleed so far, which is good. Stencil is clean on the back side, so now I can put bloom underneath. This is throwing me completely off. I'm going to look at the bottom right here and kind of gauge it by this, because I'm going to put my O's in the middle of this. That will be the best bet. And I'm going to come down a little bit. Then we've got to make sure that we are straight and that the space here and here is very similar and it looks similar. And if we are not straight, it's okay, because bloom kind of goes up, goes a little bit down, so we are good. Do not stress about that too much. Enjoy your creativeness. Again, I am putting my finger down right here where it meets up with the other one. I didn't, did I? Yep, I sure did. Should have taped this off up here. There we go. Got a little bit too swirl happy. That's okay. We're going to see if we can fix it. Right here. Hey, Miss Bonnie, I can finally see comments. Yay! I've been having a hard time seeing comments, so I apologize if you've been on and said hey. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome to the Whimsy Bunch. If you are new to me, welcome, and I would love for you to follow. Yep, got that little boo-boo right there, but you know what? I'm going to use my little pokey tool and see if I can. That might not be a good idea. I might have to get a little flower or something to put here. Right there, I've got a little boo-boo. We'll figure out something. Sometimes you can take another piece of cloth or paper towel and rub it. And I'm also going to see if I can use maybe a little bit of water and water it down. But for right now, I am leaving it. We're going to have to get this done. I'm looking to see if I am in the middle. I'm going to have to hurry up. Got to do our crackle still. And I chose green because that's what was in the leaves. So I thought that would be a good addition to do the green. I'm getting close to the top up there, and I didn't want to mess that up. And I love this. Where flowers bloom, so does hope. And we need hope. Hope for tomorrow. And my hope is in the Lord. I know He's got my back. He's got my front. He's got my side. He's got me covered all the way around. I don't have to worry about anything. And I'm not saying that I'm having an easy life. That is not at all what I mean. But I know that if something happens, if something goes on, that I can go to Him. He will give me the hope to go on, to face the challenge, to learn to roll with the punches. He created me to be enough, and He equipped me with abilities and talents to handle things. And He is not ever going to give us more than we can handle. We might not think so, but He knows what we are capable of. So we have to lean on Him. So our hope most definitely comes from the Lord. Alright, let's see if that did it. Yep, we are good. And I'll take all that tape off later. And I have another flower that I am going to add in here. And I was going to add a leaf to that bloom. And I was going to extend that bloom to make that a little leaf. Yeah, I can only see Miss Bonnie's comment. I can see nobody else's. That is so strange. But I will read the comments later, most likely tomorrow. So comment, comment, comment. Let me know what is going on in your world. Let me know if you will try this. Another tip too, if you have paint on your hands, don't put it down on your fabric. So make sure that your hands are clean or paint free before you pick up your fabric piece. Could also get a little ladybug, set a little ladybug on there. I've got to look through my other transfers. Little bee. Let's see what we have, what we can add in there to cover that little spot up. We can find something to add on there. Little bee will be perfect. So we'll find a little bee and just put a little bee on there. And look, does that not look beautiful? Just love the way that turned out. All right, let's go to our, and that came out of the Sentimental, which is not available at the moment, but you may be able to request it and they may be able to restock that. All right, let's get to our 2 little blocks. I'm going to hit them one more time with heat. We had applied the part 1 of the fine line crackle on here. I wanted to dry this one more time real quick. If you do use a tool to dry it, make sure that you wait until that's cooled back off. The fine line crackle is like a amber kind of color, and I'm just using a little fan brush. Couldn't think of what this was called, and I'm putting a very thin coat on. I'm going over the stencil, over the transfer. And I've just got a little fine coat on here. I'm going to add a little bit more to the edges. And again, if it doesn't crackle everywhere the same, I'm okay with that. Because I want it to look aged anyway. That's why we're putting the crackle on. I just love the way it looks when that crackle comes through. And keep an eye on the flowers. We've got flowers, not flower. Because when that crackle comes through, when I dry it, oh my gosh, because you'll see, especially on the red one, that is so cool. It is so cool. I'm leaving it like that. I had a little overrun, but it's okay. Make sure you close these tightly. Now let the magic begin. I am going to lay them like this, so hopefully you can see when it starts crackling. Let me see if I can elevate it. Let's keep it moving around. Just keep an eye on the flower. That should be your first indicator of crackle happening. I can see it happening. See that crackle happening in the flower? Look at that crackle. The white one is obviously going to be harder to see. I can start it seeing it on the white one. You see it? It's hard to see when I am trying to hold that up and have the heating tool right in front of it. But even that white one is crackling beautifully. And this is the look we're trying to achieve. Still have a big wet spot right there, so I'm going to try to blow dry that a little bit more. Let this one dry naturally a little bit more, and let this dry. I mean, you see that crackle? Look at that. I'm going to let that dry a little bit more. Or let the heat get out of the piece. This one is dry, but I was wanting to let the heat come down a little bit more. Now I'm going to I used one of the big brushes from Essential Stencil. This is an older brush that I wasn't using for stenciling anymore. And I'm going to use the Dark Kills Wax. And watch the magic happen. Now look at the difference. Now watch that magic happen. Can you see that good? That's how much I have on here. I'm not going to use all of that. I am going to offload in my little tin. It looks good just like that, if that's how you want to leave it. Look at the magic happen. So we're going to dirty it up all the way around. I even dirtied up my hand. Get that off my hand. Now we're just going to take our paper towel and rub that in a little bit. And then we're going to come across here and we're going to rub this in. And if you rub too much off on the edges, you can put the edges back. And now it looks like the crazing on an old piece of porcelain. And if you want more on the edges, you just come back with your wax and you just add a little